Hello and welcome back to the mix-up. I'm going to be doing a reaction today to NASCAR garage area accident, and this one comes to us from the YouTube channel KKB. He has a bunch of compilation videos over there. Go check him out. Anyway, let's get right into this one.
New Hampshire Motor Speedway can be a tricky place on track, but as Clint Boyer exits his 15 machine, it can be a dangerous place in the garage as well. You have to communicate with each other, and apparently this didn't happen. Watch. Jeff Gordon backs out.
You know, what I want to know is this guy, where the guy that's there. Why isn't that guy the guy standing there? How is he not saying, "Hey, there's a car coming out"? I just don't understand how this happens.
Right in the path of Clint Boyer, Kyle.
Yeah, and look at his reaction when he comes into the garage stall.
Like, if you're going to be telling a car to back out of the garage, you need to be looking at what you're telling them to back into, not just blindly like, come on, back out. You can't do it like that. You got to, like, I mean, these are supposed to be professionals, for Christ's sake.
There he hits. Look at him holding his hands up. Give me a signal. Somebody give me a signal.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be holding my hands up, too. I'd be like, what are you going to tell me what I'm going into here?
Contributing to this, I think if you go back and look at that, the garage is wet. Look at the pavement. Look at the pavement. When he got ready to get, no matter what happened, and it was a miscue on somebody's fault there.
Yeah, that guy walking back in, it was a miscue on his part.
Whether it was Jeff's team.
You got 8 people standing there. Ain't no one of them can say, "Hey, wait a second."
And somebody wasn't talking to Clint or whatever. When he hit the brakes, the thing had to have slid some in the wet pavement.
Here comes the good and the bad for Steve Wallace. First of all, the good, he's mixed up in this very fast draft, running very well on the low side of the racetrack.
And that was all fine on the racetrack. They went back to the garage to make some changes on the race car, and on his way back out,
How in the world?
he didn't make it to pit road.
How do you do that in the garage area?
There was a big accident there. He got sideways, and he went into the fence, and you can see
Did his throttle get stuck or something? I mean, you really can't even be going that fast in the garage area. I mean, somebody in the comments, please tell me how something like this happens.
an extreme amount of damage on that race car. They had to put it on a rollback and take it out of the racetrack. It's done for today, that's for sure.
Thanks, some fireworks in the final laps and some fireworks back in the garage area too. Apparently
One of the haulers is on fire.
looks like the 78 transporter perhaps putting some
I'm not sure it's not coming out of the
78
or the one.
either way,
It's definitely
safety
coming out of
officials
one
on
of
the scene
them.
back there in the garage area containing the situation. We're told it is the 78.
Hey, Vince, just want to give everyone an update down here in the garage. I'm between the Brian Vickers hauler and the Regan Smith hauler. Everyone is okay. They were transferring the fuel from the dump cans they use on pit road actually into a reservoir.
Some big-ass flames.
In the back of the cab. That's where they store the extra fuel to go down the road so they can store the empty cans up in the top of the hauler. So everyone's all right, and there was just a quick fire. They got it all put out, and they'll go down the road a little battered in a lot of ways today.
A little charred.
Alan.
That was just miscalculation right there.
Call it somewhat of a traffic jam. Here's Danica Patrick trying to come back into the garage area. Meanwhile, to the right of our shot there's Sam Hornish Jr. He comes out, but he's already been hit. He's already been rear-ended.
Well, I mean, she didn't cause this.
Yeah, and this is nobody's fault. This.
If he sees that she's way over there, why didn't he just keep going?
This is the way they've set up leaving and entering the garage area.
I mean,
And you know, Sam has to stop because he thinks Danica's coming.
Uh-oh.
Yikes.
Oh, we have a hauler that tried to go through the tunnel.
The little tunnel.
Oh, that gets somebody every year here in Atlanta.
he just said it gets somebody every year. So every year someone drives into this thing.
That's another.
Is this like that can opener bridge in North Carolina that you see YouTube videos of? Somebody always hits it.
Backside tunnel. You can't do that.
That's not a composite body right there. You know what I mean? That one's not going to pop out.
It was. It's definitely not anymore.
Hey, really quickly,
Yeah.
This is an enormous caution for a couple of guys. One, Noah Gregson, who had
he hit hard too.
taken the wave around.
Yo, why would you even just let's look at that again. The car's up on jack stands. The tire is spinning. Yo, he drops so fast. He's like, I wonder what would happen if I gone. I mean, that much momentum, I'm surprised it didn't flip him. He definitely won't be doing that again.
A wild ride with Brad Knopfsinger. After the checkered flag in the open, he cut a tire and went careening across the infield. The car arced right through the gate and hit the pace car. Security guard Donald Ivey suffered a broken ankle in that mishap, which saw Knopfsinger unable to steer his bent-up race car. First pace car driver did a good job of backing out of the way so that Brad could hit the second one.
Pace car did a good job backing out of the way so you can hit the second one. It's like, nope, not mine. You hit the other one. What we got going on here? What are we going to hit here? How did that even happen? How did that even happen? Let's go back. I mean, shouldn't you be watching where you're going?
I'm here at the shop for Levine Family Racing, actually located just across the way from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Now, as you mentioned in your lead-in, there was a fire here. It took place.
Yeah, that car behind him is charred.
Early Friday morning while the race team was in Kansas City getting ready for that race. So fortunately, nobody was here.
By the time the fire department arrived, a significant amount of damage had been done, but they were able to control it before any more was done. Now lost in the fire were 4 race cars.
Yeah, I worked at a body shop years ago, and that thing ended up catching on fire. Somebody had a charger hooked up for a drill that shouldn't be hooked up the way it was, and that's what ended up starting the fire, I think they said.
3 which were backup cars and 1 that was going to be used on a road course later this year, as well as other supplies the race team uses. The front part of the race shop that houses the team's primary cars sustained no damage except for losing power and water for the weekend. Although it was and still is a tough situation for this one-car team to be in, they know things could have been a lot worse.
The good news is no one was injured, and the building is still standing. Then we're working through the next steps of where we.
All right. Well, I mean, it's a brick building. It should be easily repairable. At least it's not a wood structure. It's brick and metal. It's not a wood structure.
Go and what we do from here. But like you said, the good news is no one was injured, and all of our employees are safe, and no one's harmed.
As for how this impacts the rest of their race season, the 95 team says this fire has no impact on the team's competition schedule.
So this has been a reaction to NASCAR garage area accidents. Until next time, this has been the Mix Up. Peace.
Be a tricky place on track.